class.
Good morning, ma'am.
So, are you ready to learn something for today?
Yes, ma'am.
So, before we proceed to our lesson, I am going to ask you a question. So, have you experienced shopping at the mall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so imagine that at the mall you bought a dress or a shirt that you really wanted. And after buying it, and when you are actually going to wear it after buying, you discover that there are tears at the seams or there are torn parts at your newly bought dress or shirt. So, what are you going to do about that situation? Okay? And anyone please answer my question? Okay, Margaret.
Ma'am, I will return it to the customer service of the shop.
Okay, you have a point in there. How about Marjorie?
I will make a complaint regarding this issue.
Okay, you're right. But you know, class, I know someone named Sally who also did the same thing as what Will Marjorie will do. So she wrote a complaint letter to the management of the boutique where she bought the dress, the damaged dress. And now I'm giving you the copy of her letter, and I want you to read it silently for 3 minutes. And I'm going to ask you some questions about it. So here's a copy of her letter.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, so I guess that you're finished reading the letter. So if you were Sally, will you do the same thing? Okay, will you do the same thing that you will also write a complaint letter to the management of the boutique? Okay.
Yes, I will write a complaint letter. First, I'm not satisfied with what they say.
Okay. What do you think, class? Did Sally write the letter in the right manner? As you can see, you have read the letter, right? Did Sally write the complaint letter with the right words and statements? Okay, Yara.
I think Sally had written a good letter because the letter has a respect to Mr. Lagman, who is the owner of it.
Okay, so Sally didn't write the letter in the right manner because she used bad statements and other foul words to the management of the boutique. So class, what do you think is the kind of letter that Sally write to the management? Okay, Kit.
Sally wrote a complaint letter.
Okay, a complaint letter. So class, do you have an idea what is a complaint letter is? Okay, Crystal.
I guess, ma'am, a complaint letter consists of your complaints about specific products or services offered.
Okay, so Maggie is right. So a complaint letter is a letter written by a customer of a service or products commenting on poor service or product. So a complaint letter, as what Maggie said, it contains about the complaint of a consumer about an unsatisfying service or the damages of a certain product. It also outlines the recommendations of the consumer regarding the unsatisfying service or a damaged product that the consumer had gotten from the company. So, class, I'm going to discuss the do's and don'ts in writing a complaint letter. So, can anyone please read the first slide? Ara.
Gather all your facts before you start writing the letter. Example, where and when the goods were bought, and customer reference number or invoice number, or a record of any previous communication with the company concerned.
So, class, why do you think that gathering all facts is important in writing a complaint letter? Okay, Margaret.
Ma'am, it serves as your evidence or proof that about
So when we are writing a complete letter, we must gather all of the facts that we needed, such as the receipt, the reference number, in order to prove our letter that we are not only inventing things up. And then we must also get straight to the point and set out exactly what the problem is. When we are writing a complete letter, we must get straight to the point. We must avoid writing any unnecessary things in our complete letter, because the ones who are reading our complete letter are the ones in the consumer services or the ones in the business. So we must get straight to the point in order for our letter to be easily understood. And the last slide is, okay, please read.
Enclose copies of any relevant documents that support your case.
So, as what we said before, we must gather all of the facts and all of the evidences that must be needed in writing a complaint letter. And now, I am going to discuss the don'ts in writing a complaint letter. So, can you please read the slide? Okay.
Don't use abusive language, however frustrated or angry you might be.
So, in Sally's letter, she used abusive language,
Okay,
right?
proceed to the structure of the letter.
So, let's now go on to the structuring of our letter. So, I'm going to talk about is the opening. So, when we are writing a complete letter, we must start our letter with Dear Mr., Mrs., Miss, etc. And regarding with their surname. So, why do you think that the opening is important in writing a complaint letter? Kiki.
I think it's important because it's the way we acknowledge the receiver of the letter.
Okay, so the opening is also important because this is where we put attention, or this is where we will put the reader of our letter. And if you don't know the name of the person you're writing to, begin with Dear Sir or Dear Madam. If you don't know their name or sex, use Dear Sir or Madam. So according to this, if we don't know the person who we are writing for, if we don't know if she is a girl or a boy, we must use Dear Sir or Dear Madam. We must pay respect to the person who is going to read our letter by using this kind of opening. So now let's go on to the content. Class, what do you think will be the content of our complaint letter? Okay, let's go.
I think the complaint itself is in the content of the letter.
Okay, the complaint or your feelings or reactions towards an unsatisfying goods or damage or according to the damaged product. So, when we are writing the content of our complaint letter, we must begin with the heading, alerting the reader to the subject of the letter, and in your first sentence, draw their attention to the matter you're going to raise or discuss. For an example, when we are writing a complaint letter, we must begin with expressions like I am writing to complain, or I wish to express my dissatisfaction with, or thank you for your letter. We must pay attention to the opening expressions that we are going to write in the beginning of our complaint letter. And then when I want to read slide, Margaret.
Introduce your main point as early as possible, stating your reason for writing in a clear, concise way. Once you have done this, you may want to give more details, perhaps adding further background or relevant facts. In conclusion, you should state what your expectations are.
So as what we have said before introduced, in writing a complete letter, we must get straight to the point. Okay? And then in our conclusion, we must state our recommendations or the actions that we want the company to do regarding our complaint. And with the closing, yes, please.
Closing. If you know the name of the person you're writing to, you should end the letter with yours sincerely. If your letter
reject or objectionable complaint letter, Sally's case. Now I'm giving you a model which was written by consumer named Charlotte. So, class, what can you notice with the model that I have given you? Okay, Maggie.
Ma'am, from the second model that you have given us, I can observe that it consists of formal words and it also contains evidences and proofs of the complaints.
Yes, you're right. And as you can see, she's the writer of the letter is straight to the point. And as you can see, there are the parts of the letter that I have discussed you: the opening, the content, and the closing. So this is a good example of a complaint letter. And also you can see the date and the manager of the restaurant whom the complaint is writing. And as you will read the letter, it is stated there that it images in order to show relationships with informations or data.
Okay, great. So, before we go on discussing about concept maps, let us first analyze what is in this graphic organizer or a concept map that we just finished. So, can anyone please describe to me the relationship of Elsa and Anna? Yes, Ara?
Anna is a sister of Elsa. They are from her.
Okay, great. How about the relationship of Anna and Christoph? Anyone? This is Christoph and this is Anna. Can anyone please describe the relationship of these two people? Yes, Kim?
Anna is the true love of Kristoff.
Alright, great. So how about... Okay, so perfect. You were able to connect all the relationships of these characters. So given this concept map, we will now be discussing how to create a concept map. Are you ready, class?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Julian said earlier that concept maps consist of images or any visual representation or words that links to each other to create a more meaningful diagram or picture. Okay, so I have here a definition of a concept map. Hold on. Can somebody read this definition I have here?
Concept maps. These are tools for presenting knowledge which include concepts, usually enclosed in circles or boxes. Connecting blanks and linking word phrases indicate a relation.
Alright, very good, Marjorie. So, concept map is a tool for representing certain knowledge, which includes concepts. It usually is enclosed in circles or boxes. So, when you, for example, when you are reading something and you cannot fully comprehend it, then you first have to use concept maps so that you will be able to link ideas and see the connections they have. Okay? So, there are different types of concept maps. However, today we will just be discussing about one type of concept map. So, that is the hierarchical concept map. From the word hierarchy, what can you infer? Or what comes to your mind when you hear the word hierarchy? Yes, Julian?
It represents order.
Alright, order. Another? Yes, Rebecca?
From basic to the complex.
Alright, great. From basic to complex. So I have here the definition of a hierarchical concept map. Can somebody read? Yes, Ara?
Hierarchical concept map presents an information in a descending order of importance where the most important information is placed on top.
Okay, so Rebecca and Julian's definition are exactly what the hierarchical concept map is. So, as you can see on this first illustration that we created earlier, we can see that there is a hierarchy. For example, the main characters of the story are on the top, and then it is on the descending order. Were you able to get that?
Yes.
Okay, so for you to be able to fully comprehend and get a grasp of what a hierarchical concept map is, I have here a graphic representation. Okay, so you see, there is an order from the highest or from where the main idea lies up to the sub topics or the supporting details. So were you able to picture in your head how to create a concept map?
Yes.
Okay, great. So now we will be watching a short video clip and I want you to fill in the worksheet that I have here. While you are viewing the film, you will be filling out these worksheets. So some of the boxes are already pre-filled, so you just have to finish this worksheet. Were you able to get my direction? Okay, great. So I will distribute this now. And by the way, you are going to work in pairs while doing this. Rebecca, you can just team with them. Let me just move this so that the short clip? Yes. Okay. So let's play. While you are watching the clip, you have to answer the empty boxes that are in your worksheets. So the sound is quite not good, or the volume is not that up. So just alright. So hang on, I just have to connect the speaker so that you will be able to hear the video.
No, it's okay. You just go on with the.
Okay. So let's just pretend that you can hear the video.
Proceed to your